Let's talk TMNT Volume 4, Sins of the Fathers. Before we get into this collection, I'll actually just kind of show you 3 different ways that it's collected together. The trade paperback, the single individual issues, and the IDW collection hardcover. So regardless of which collection you have or you want to get, they all contain the same story. Today I'm going to work out the trade paperback just because it's easier for me. I recommend a reading order for this arc of the story. Start with Casey Jones, issue 13, issue 14, the April one-shot, issue 15, my 2 favorite variant covers for this arc of the story. Issue number 13, with the brothers just sitting there playing on the couch playing a little PlayStation, is actually the 16B Eastman cover. So this story is actually written by Tom Waltz and Kevin Eastman. They co-collaborate on this whole run, really. This is the first time with the art from Andy Kuhn. His art is a little bit blocky. It's different than the first arc, and that'll kind of give you a look at his art. There's another example there. I don't think he repeats after this. I think this is the only arc he's on for the whole series. So now let's get into plot. So this story basically has 4 plots, or 4 major plot points throughout it. Plot number 1, coming out of the first volume, the first 12 issues, they're learning to work as a group of 4. So all 4 brothers are trying to work together, kind of become a team, and just figure out what everyone's strengths and weaknesses are within the group. Plot point number 2, KRANG and Baxter Stockman start building the Technodrome. If you remember the Technodrome from the old cartoon series. You have a really interesting development in this story of Casey and his dad. So there's kind of a strained relationship there, and Casey's kind of being forced to confront that relationship. Some physical, some emotional. Definitely a big plot point in this story arc is Casey and his dad and their relationship and how it relates to the turtles. And plot point number 4 is Slash. We actually get introduced to Slash here in issue either 15 or 16 for the first time in this run. So let's get into pros and cons. Pros. Biggest thing for me is this is actually an arc where they start world building. They start really reaching outside of the turtles into their supporting cast and the characters outside of just the basic ones that we all know. Another pro is I think in the first or second issue of this arc, there's a really cool father-son personal development between Raph and Splinter. It's all tied together to the 4 points that I talked about, but there's a really cool development there between individual son and father. Another pro is this is actually the first time in this series you see the turtles, all 4 of them, in a group conflict, and they really start to figure out how are they going to overcome these adversities or these things that they're dealing with now on a daily basis. And the last pro I'd say is that KRANG's endgame, KRANG's ultimate goal, is revealed in this arc. So it's not going to pan out for a while here in this series. But what he's trying to do and why he's trying to do it is really kind of introduced in this arc. A little bit of background into his story and his motives and his intentions. So what are the cons of the book? First con for me is the art to me is really blocky and kind of clunky. It's like all the black around each character is really thick, and there's not really a lot of detail in the background. The art for me wasn't a deal breaker. It just wasn't my style. Another con for this book, and I would say this in general for most of TMNT, it's really wordy. This is not a comic you're gonna fly through. There's a lot of exposition. Transitions are great. They go from one conversation or one piece of the story to the next, and you feel like it all flows together, almost like you would be in like a movie. But there are a lot of words. That's 1 page. I'm fine with that. Some of you guys might have an issue with that. And probably the biggest con with this story arc, no real outcome. There is an end to the arc. There is an end to what they're progressing and the character development. You do have a conclusion. It doesn't just stop. It's really building for a couple volumes down the line. If you're just going to pick up this story just as it is, you're going to walk away thinking like, okay, what was that? Major plot lines are developing, don't end here. There's not a huge payoff in this arc. So what are my final thoughts? Art in this arc is serviceable. The plot points are established, but they're not fleshed out yet. Nice to see everybody together. The series really starts to put all the brothers together, develop their personalities. They're going to attack problems and deal with problems and handle each other, and their relationships, again, with each other, their father, the other people around them. The villains are now kind of showing you what they want to do. So definitely a good story arc for that. My final grade, final thoughts, I would have to probably give this one a B-. It's not the best, not the strongest. The arcs to follow actually keep getting stronger and stronger until one you'll see when we get there. So I just want to say thanks for checking in with me. I'm going to actually review all the Turtle volumes up until the present. It's currently the summer of 2017, so we're on issue 74 or so. So I'm going to do each volume in a row. If you like these, give it a thumbs up. If you've read this arc and you have a different opinion, or you have something to add, please comment below. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for checking out the video. Take care of yourself.